Hello, REMAX agents. It's Dave here. We had a really great sales meeting there at the office on Wednesday, and we had about 22 of our team members there. That's about a third of our company, and that's relatively close to what I would expect this time of year with the weather like it was. But I started thinking about that, and I thought, maybe it would be a good idea for me to share the information with you that we covered in the meeting because we did cover kind of our goals for the year and our objectives as an organization. So we're going to do that right now. It doesn't take the place of the meeting because one of the things you miss in a Zoom recording like this is the dialogue that happens with it. So I'm still going to encourage you to come to those meetings. We have them once a month as much as you can. But throughout the year, my plan is, time permitting, that we will also do a kind of a brief summary follow-up like I'm doing now. So let's jump in here. Let me share my screen. And all right, here we go. So our sales meeting. And I think I have to click the button here to go to the next screen, try to figure out, oh, here we go. So welcome AJ back to our company. I understand that AJ was with us in the past, and he had some really great things to say about Edie and the team that he went off to join, but he's happy to be back with our REMAX family, and we are obviously thrilled to have him back. If you haven't talked to AJ since he's been back, I encourage you to do so. He shared a little bit about some of the construction piece that he brings to us. Obviously, being an appraiser is super, super helpful for us as an organization. So I would encourage you, reach out to AJ, have a quick conversation with him, find out all the great things that he's got going on, because there's some fun stuff he's got going on there. Then we spoke about the kind of the calendar for next week and the rest of this week. Obviously, this week is done. But next week, we're going to do on Monday the KV course streaming in both the Leawood and the Lee Summit offices at noon. That's Holly's 8-week program. And then, so next week will be, I guess, the second week in the 8-week program. And I understand that the first week was a little remedial for those of us who've already been playing in there. That has been recorded. So if you need that recording, please reach out to Amanda, and she can probably help you get that recording. If you missed the homework, also reach out to Amanda, and she can help you with that. And we look forward to streaming that again this next Monday there in the office. On Tuesday, the Lee Summit will have their sales meeting. We had to cancel. We always do Tuesdays in Lee Summit. We had to cancel their Tuesday meeting because of the crazy blizzard that we had. And then on Thursday of this coming week, we're going to have the KCRAR continuing education class on contracts. Again, that will be at 8:30 in the KCRAR classroom. It starts at 9, the actual class. If you're not in your seat at 9, you do not get credit for the class. So please be there at 8:30. Our friends over with Prime Lending are going to bring in some food. We'll have a little bit of a time to kind of catch up and visit and have a little fellowship, if you will, and then kick off the class at 9. That goes until noon, and you have to stay the entire time to get your credit for your continuing ed. Also, please note, you have to let Amanda know before if you are coming, because we have to be able to get certificates for your CE. So please reach out to Amanda and let her know if you plan on attending that class. We, throughout the year, the Kansas City Business Journal and Ingram's Magazine post all kinds of rankings around Kansas City. And we just wanted to kind of celebrate a little bit that our two organizations, StateLine and Elite, were ranked number 19 and 20 for residential firms in 2022 based on volume. Those numbers take a long time for them to get them all out because it takes forever to get the data out there. But I am super, super pleased that both of our companies ended up in the top 20. When you combine us together, that would put us way at the top of this chart. And that's pretty impressive for two small firms, one in Leawood and one in Lee Summit. And it does speak volumes to the quality of agents that are at REMAX. And as a broker and an owner, I'm thrilled to be working with such great agents because, we don't just hire anybody in our organizations. We look for the best, and we try to help people become the best. And those people who want to play the game at a really deeper level, they tend to migrate to a company like REMAX where they're surrounded by other people who are also playing the game at a high level. So congratulations to all of you on that. And then really, really proud of this for our commercial folks. We were ranked number 26 as an honorable mention in commercial firms in Kansas City. And you look at the top of that, I mean, that's the who's who's. I mean, this is where they're talking about the blocks of the company of the world, right? And for us to be get that number 26 ranking in there, that is just really, really awesome. We were just one spot outside of that top 25 this year. So super cool. Really proud of our commercial team. And keep them in mind. I think sometimes we forget about the opportunities to refer business to our commercial practitioners. And they're, Bruce and Susan and that team back there are really trying to build something special. And we're proud of them, and we're super proud of this ranking. So when you see those folks, say congratulations to them. Our 23 totals for CMN were just a little shy of $5,000 this year, with 4,470. And the people on this board here are the folks who made those donations. And I just want to say thank you to you guys. And it's super awesome that we give back. And I think that we're real blessed as real estate agents to make the kind of money that a REMAX agent makes, and to see those of you who can find it to give back to CMN. That's super, super awesome. Know that we try to make it as easy for you as possible. If you have a $30 minimum donation, we will take it right out of your commission check and make that donation on your behalf and help you become what's called a miracle agent. And with miracle agents, you get a certificate and some social media stuff that you can kind of put out there and let the world know that you're giving back. And I just want to encourage each of you to keep doing that as we move forward. And when you look at it, Sharon McFarland was our #1 CMN agent as an office there in Leawood. And Sharon, I just want to say thank you. As an agent, to step up and lead by example like that is super awesome. So I appreciate it. And we will continue to talk about that throughout the year and let you guys know how each of you are standing as far as CMN goes. One of the things that we will do continually as we head to 20 through 2024 is we're going to be real transparent with you about the numbers, the goals, and how you're doing, how we are doing, how the overall company is doing, and that is both Leawood and Lee Summit, because we're one company. And we will look at how each of the individual offices is doing, and then within each individual office, how the players in that office are doing. So these particular slides you will see, and go back to my share screen here. We will continue to look at these every single month, pretty much in this format. Now, when we look at 2023, there's no shock. We know that we were down. We know that it wasn't a great year in the Leawood office. Things went in the wrong direction. So Leawood was down 19% in listings. The MLS was down 7.5% in listings. Leawood was down 19.5% as far as overall closed transactions, and the MLS was down about 15.6. So we underperformed the MLS as a whole. And the truth of the matter is, when you really break it down, we lost in the game of listings. So, for years, you've heard the old saying that listers last. I think it is incredibly important as we roll into 2024 that we get laser focused on finding more listing opportunities as an organization, because that's where you're going to make it if you're going to turn the ship around. And we need to turn the ship around. We can't have another year of 20% reduction in our transaction counts and continue to be around as an organization. That's probably one of the leanest years that the Leawood office has ever had. Now, the good news is we had some people that had an amazing year, and then this is our leaderboard, and we will look at it this way. As you can see, the Fleming team led the pack with 49 transactions and about 20 million in volume. So you'll see us look at units, volume, and then to me, one of the more important measurements is commission rankings. And then for those of you who are on a team, I don't want you to feel left out. We will put our top team members over on the right side. You'll see that over here on the right. That the team leader gets credit in our world for transactions. The team leader gets credit in our world for volume. The individual who gets the check gets credit for the actual commission. So big shout out goes to Ben and Tanya over there for being on a team and also making our top commissions list for the year. And then as we go down through there, you can see the Sigmund team at number 2, the McFarland team at number 3, the Broderick team at number 4, the Hersma team at number 5, and then a real fun dogfight between Brendan and Chris there for the number 6 and 7 spot for commissions and transactions and volume. It was very, very close between them, along with a lot of other really great folks. There's Stephanie and Jennifer. Of course, Kathy Stevens in there. The Fournier team pulled in at number 11. Wendy there at number 12. Ed and his team, Ed Jr. at number 13. Angie at number 14. And Cindy at number 15. Congratulations to everybody for making this list. Great job. Stay focused. Let's continue to build on this for 2024. For the month of December, we will look at this every single month. You'll see our volume leaders, our transaction leaders, and our commission leaders on there. And again, we will show this to everybody on a monthly basis as we go forward. If you want any of these slides, I'm going to upload them as a PDF into here for you to see. But if you want any of that information or any of these slides for you to use on your social media marketing, just reach out to us and let us know. We'd be happy to share them with you. Jacqueline gave out all the awards for those top agents with your certificates. And if you weren't there, your certificate will be in your mailbox. So you can have your certificate, celebrate your success for the month. And we'll do that continuing into 2024. Also, our monthly listing leaders and closed transaction leaders, teams and individuals will be recognized as we move forward in 2024. Now, 2024's goals. The National Association of Realtors is telling us as brokers that we should probably budget around 10 to 20% reduction in transactions this next year. And we're not going to do that. We got our 20% reduction in transactions in 2023. We're going to turn the tide for our office. Now, I've said for a while that the 2024 feels to me like a professionals real estate market where the pros are going to get more than their fair share and they will do better than the part-timers out there. So our goal is in the Leawood office to grow us from 229 million in closed volume to 252 million. Transactions up from 610 to 671, and to really start to turn the corner on this average transactions per agent piece. We're at 10, which is pretty low for REMAX. REMAX agents tend to be around 14, 15, 16. So the office has a little bit of work to do there, and we're going to focus on doing that. And then I want to grow the agent count in that office from 68 agents to 75. Now, to get these goals, there's really kind of two ways to go about it. I'm reading a really great book called 10X is Easier Than 2X or some variation of that word. But the idea is that you grow through staying focused on one wildly important goal. This is also taught in another book called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. If you really want two amazing books that I'd recommend you read in 2024, it would be both of those books if you're looking to grow your businesses. But in the 4 Disciplines of Execution, they call your goal, your one goal, your wildly important goal. And the lesson in that book is the more goals you have, the harder it is for you to achieve any of them. So pick one goal and be laser focused on it. So our one goal as an organization is to grow our transaction count by 10% through higher agent production and more agents. So we grow the number of agents and we grow the production of our agents by 10% over the next year. And that's what these numbers reflect. And I feel pretty comfortable that we're going to do that. I feel pretty comfortable that we already feel the spring market starting to hit, and it's January. There's a energy in both locations right now that really makes me optimistic about our 2024. When you look at the combined goals of the organization for 2024, it is to grow us to almost 500 million in volume. So 494,936,485 or 495 million, and take our transaction count to 1,506 between the two offices, and to grow our average transactions by up to 11, and to grow our agent count to 147. These are very obtainable goals. They're realistic goals, and they're goals that if we keep the momentum that we have right now in both of these offices, I really feel like we will obtain them. When you look at the last year's numbers, and again, you'll see these graphs, something that I'll use every month. You kind of can see the yellow line was 2022, the big yellow bars there. The green line or bars were 2023. And you can just see that we started off last January pretty bad compared to the year before. That's a huge drop off. That means that we had really a pretty bad November and December, all the way back into 2021, because closings show up 45 days or so later. So we didn't do a lot of contracts last back before this 2023 number there. And you see the results. We've tried to play catch up all year long, and we really struggled. Now, you can also see that there were a little bit of time here in the middle where we did a little bit better. So kind of mid to late summer here, these months, we were kind of holding our own. And then you can see in October, we dropped back off again. We did really, really well in October. We bounced way back up, held our own in November, and had a little bit of drop off in December again. The fourth quarter was obviously much better than the first two quarters of the first half of the year. And I think that as we got into the fourth quarter in the Leawood office in particular, I think we started coming to the comfort of dealing with all the interest rates drama, which started back here in March and April of last year. So you can see where it really kicked our tail in March and April. We kind of figured it out, found a rhythm, and started to be able to deal with it, but it simply took us too long to react to it as an organization. And our goal, both David and I as leaders, is to try to do a better job of anticipating the roadblocks and obstacles that are coming down and telling you guys what we expect to be happening, and hopefully helping you react quicker. Change is constant in this business, and if you're prepared for the change and you pivot and react faster, then you will get more than your competition does. And I think we're going to do a better job of that in 2024. This is the combined look at that, and so it's not a whole lot different. The second half of the year was just much stronger than the first half of the year, and we really feel like we can turn that trend a little bit through being better focused, on listings, being better focused on relationships with our clients, and doing a better job of staying in touch with people. And honestly, if you leverage the technology piece that we've been teaching, it will go kind of autopilot some of this work for you. The numbers that are out there are kind of staggering about follow-up. And I'm going to say this now, I'm going to say it again in a little bit, but 90% of the people who bought a home never heard from their agent again. And that is unacceptable for us as an industry. We tend to think, oh, if I send them emails, I text them, I call these people, that I'm bugging them. And the consumer says just the opposite. No, they want to hear from you. You just have to have the courage to do a better job of staying in touch. It also means you have to have the discipline. And I'm going to give you a really good piece that if you're not doing, you should be doing here in a few minutes. As we have previously mentioned, the CE class for KCRER is coming up. It's Thursday. Again, you got to be there earlier than 9 o'clock if you want a little bit of food, but definitely you got to be in your seat at 9 o'clock if you want credit for this. And you do need to reach out to Amanda. There were 17 form changes by the committee for the residential forms this year. And we we tried to put together a little document that kind of gave you the highlights of those. Unfortunately, when we printed it, it printed it pretty small and it's not real legible. We're working on that now. I think by Monday, we're going to have a better version of that I can upload for you, and you'll be able to at least have those with you when you go into the class. So if you can get if I get this document to you, and I suspect that I will, fixed and more legible, print it out and bring it with you to your class next week if you're attending the class. If you're not going to attend the class, that handout, those printouts are going to be really, really important that you study. Now, one of the things that Jacqueline wanted to make sure that everybody knew is, if you've created your own template inside of Dotloop, and some of you have, you need to go update those forms as soon as possible. So one of your homework assignments is go in and look, do you have your own templates built in KV Core? I mean, .loop. There's not as much of a need for that now because we've built templates for you. But if you have, certain pieces that you'd like to have in your own templates, that's fine. You just need to update those forms no later than February the 15th. If you need some help with that, come see us. We'd be happy to help you figure out what we need to do to update your templates that you've created for yourself. As you know, again, Holly's doing this 8-week boot camp, and I am a huge fan of understanding that sometimes a person, in this case Holly, might say things differently than another person, David or Gina or BJ, who's been helping us learn KV Core over in the Leawood office. So if you are either new to using KV Core, or you have missed some classes, or our classes haven't been what you need, that's okay. I really encourage you to sign up for Holly's classes. Now, yes, we're going to stream them in the office. You can come and sit down and watch them. But even if you're going to watch them with us as a group, go ahead and register. That will get you sent the recording, and it will get you sent the homework assignments, which is important. The other thing that I like about you having the recording is that you can go back afterwards and watch a video 2, 3, even 4 times to make sure that you've got it. And I really do like that. Holly's a professional Max Tech KV Core teacher within the REMAX world. And I really feel like if you're going to lean into KV Core and get the most out of it, then you're going to have to invest the time and energy into learning it. And Holly is a great coach. Excuse me, my phone's ringing. So I'm going to encourage you to both sign up, get the homework, watch it on your own, or come watch it with us as a group. Finally, I promised another piece of homework that I would recommend. It's, as you know, it's January, and we're wrapping up the end of the year. Every year at this time, I encourage our agents to go into your .loop account and either print or email as a PDF, and you can do that from .loop, attach it as a PDF, the closing statement over to your clients. Many of them are going to need that for their taxes, which is why I'm a fan of downloading it and printing it if you can. Some of our agents are going to download it and then send it as an attachment in a separate email explaining why. To me, it doesn't matter which one you do. If you send it as an email attachment, then I would encourage you to also text your client and say, hey, I forwarded over your closing statement earlier in the year, from earlier in the year, and you need to probably print that out and make sure your accountant has a copy of it, because there potentially are some tax savings for our clients in that document. So it's another one of those really great touches. So again, best practice is to either print it or download it and email it with an explanation of why it is that you've sent it to your clients. That's 2 touches. And I know that it takes about 30 touches a year to stay top of mind. So here's 2. You set them up on a market report from KV Core. That's an additional 12. Half of your touches are already taken care of, and you don't have to think about it again. If you did nothing but that for the next year, then you have done immensely better than your competition, because as you heard me say earlier, 90% of home buyers never heard from their agent again after closing. Now, here's one of those might make you uncomfortable conversations. If you were the listing agent and you sold 10 homes this year as a listing, what are the odds that the buyer's agent is going to send this document? Pretty low. So if, in particular, with an 80% failure rate as an industry, 80% of those agents are coming into the business, selling 2 or 3 or 4 homes before they fail and get out, right? There's no wonder that people don't hear from their agent again after closing. So you could do the homework of looking up to see, is that agent still in the business? Are they still selling real estate? And if they're not, I would 100% encourage you to get the closing statement for the buyer from the title company and forward it to them, and let them know that if they need any real estate services in the future, that you're there for them. There are some more aggressive agents that are going to send that out to every buyer, regardless if the client is, or the agent was still in the business or not. And I'm not going to take a side on whether you should or should not do that. I will tell you there is no ethics violation and no legal violation because the contract between those people ended at the closing. So whether you want to send it to every potential buyer, just your clients, just the buyer clients whose agent is no longer in the business, doesn't matter to me. It's just more touches that you can employ into your business to help you stay top of mind with folks. Guys, let me stop the share here. We did have some great conversations about people's needs, listings coming on the market from other agents, a lot of coming soon stuff. There was a great sharing of information that came out of the last part of the meeting. But I'll say this, I suspect that it's going to be a crazy spring. And we need to go out and we need to get more than our fair share. We did not get more than our fair share in 2023, and it's time for us to turn that around. If you need help, if there's anything that you think you need from me, then please reach out to me. I'm in that office 2, 3, sometimes 4 days a week. And if I'm not there, I'm available by phone and I'm available by Zoom at pretty much any time that you might need me. So reach out, let me know how I can help. Let Jacqueline know what she can do to help, and let's have a great 2024.